Let's continue. Now let's go to the naming. Naming of binary salt of metal and non-metal. So there's only one rule for this. Write the name of the cation followed by the anion. So say for example, Na plus Cl, we have NaCl. So we have sodium
CL.
plus chloride. The name is sodium chloride. So dali ra kay sa ngatanan. We have copper 2 plus iodide. So we have the CuI2 because of the crossing over. Then we have the name copper 2 iodide or cupric iodide. Ammonium plus phosphide, as what you can see in the formula, we enclose ammonium with parentheses. That is because the whole ammonium will be multiplied with 3. Therefore, in one phosphorus, there will be 3 ammonium nga iyahang i-connect. Nasabtan? Pariharan na siya sa OH atong yagi. Magnesium and cyanide. So we have enclosed the cyanide with 2, which means, so pag polyatomic cation or polyatomic anion, we denote it as one particle. So since we denote it with one particle, dili pwede nga ang 2 ibutang ra nimo sa gawas. Kung wala gani siya parenthesis, bot pa sa bot, CC wala siya na-appeal og ka-multiply. Si N ra ang imuhang na multiplyan. Nasabtan? Okay. Now let's go to binary salt of both non-metal. So in this part, the atoms do not either release electron. They only share their electron. That's why the bond they form is covalent bond. They just shared their electron. Therefore, they involve what we call as central atoms. So to determine the central atom, you can look into the Lewis electron dot structure or their electronegativity value. Naka-remember kaganina sa phosphorus of si sulfur? Chlorine. Oh, kato siya. So, ingon ato ang mahitabo niya. Pag gitawag na to siya o kanang both non-metals. So we have here example 1, oxygen and carbon. So in oxygen and carbon, oxygen has 6 dots, carbon has 4 dots. So we connect the dots, carbon will have 2 oxygen. So the center, kwato siyang straight na center si carbon. So since carbon is our central atom, we actually write it first. Now, if you look into their electronegativity value, sakto gyapon siya because carbon has lesser electronegativity value compared to oxygen. Now, I have here another example. We have here fluorine. Ay, wala din itong isa. Now, what if fluorine. So, di ba kung si fluorine o si carbon, dali ra kay nato makitaan nga si fluorine ang si carbon ang naa sa center. So, central. O siya tong tawag og central atom. So, mao nang unahon nato siya og sulat. Si fluorine nga nasa gilid siya ang duha, nasa ikaduha. So, ato pong basihan yung electronegativity value, carbon has 2.5, fluorine has 4, so carbon will act as the positive while fluorine will act as the negative, even though they just share their electron. Nasabtan?
Yes!
Again, even though they share their electron, one could be partially positive, the other could be partially negative. Di ba? Humana taana sa ato ang ionic bond o covalent bond. Nganong naay mo form of partially positive or partially negative based on the table. Di ba na-remember to niyo tong table? So, another here is the naming. So, kani akong gining. Now, nganong importante kaayo ang ilahi ang binary result of both metals. Nganong dili naman lang sila parehaon kaganina nga pareha man sila duha ka buok element. Nganong kailangan man malain-lain sila. Now,
lahi man silang paagi.
The ruling is that in the binary metal of metal and non-metal, atong basihan kay ang ilahang oxidation number. So, dili ta makapatakag pilay number, dili ta makabuot-buot. Unlike dinhi, pwede tang magbuot-buot. Say, for example, carbon and oxygen. Na kay oxygen, sumpayan ni mo carbon. Di ba dapat oxygen ang imay sumpay dire?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Gusto ko carbon lang gihapon ako sumpay. And then another carbon tay sa ko mag-oxygen. Di ba pariharas siya nahimo gihapon siyang isa ka molecule. Pero unlike diretso na end si carbon ug si oxygen. Dali ra siyang na stable, dugay siyang na stable. Kaya ako po mangipang sumpay-sumpay ang mga carbon. This could be possible. This could also be possible. So, mo nang kailangan makabalotag pila ka carbon ang nagsumpay-sumpay o pila ka oxygen pod ang imong gi-sumpay-sumpay. That's why in naming binary salt of non-metal, palihog kog erase sa metal diri. Binary salt of metal, of non-metal, we really have to include the numerical prefixes. So, kay dili man stricto, pwede raman ta magdugang, pwede ta magkuha. So, bot pa sa bot, kailangan ta na ay numerical prefixes. Nasabtan ko? Ayo. Tao. Okay, now what are these numerical prefixes? So, for 1, we have mono. For 2, we have di. For 3, we have tri. For 4, we have tetra. For 5, we have penta. For 6, we have hexa. For 7, we have hepta. For 8, we have octa. For 9, we have nona. And 10, we have deca. So, for example, this one, the CO2, we can call it carbon dioxide or monocarbon dioxide. Sometimes, we do not write anymore the mono. So, kaganina, we have CF4, we call it carbon tetrafluoride or monocarbon tetrafluoride. So, either ani, pero kanin siya kasagaran ang ginagamit, ang walay mono. Unless, ang isa ka atom, siya isa example. Example, CO2 negative. Usahay man, they do not entertain the 2 negative anymore. So, ang ilang buhat, kaya pwede man gud ni siya maingon ani later on, when we talk about organic compounds, kani siya, kung dili na to basihan ang iyahang electron dot structure, stricto ra gid ta nga siya kanang sa tawag ani atong lang tawag niya electronegative iyahang electronic configuration ha. What is the electronic configuration of carbon? How many electrons are there for carbon? Ang atomic number ni carbon.
Atomic number ni carbon.
Kinsay ka sulat-sulat tirag 4?
6.
6. So, it means we have 6 electrons. We have 1s, 2s, and 2 P. Which is 3. So, kay 6 naman siya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pila ka buklon pair?
Duha.
Duha. Pila ka unpaired?
Duha po.
Oh. So, kung kanya itong basihan, pila di ka bond pwede ra nga mahimo ni carbon? Ayo.
Ay, pila unsa ma'am?
Pila ka bond ang pwede ra ma-form ni carbon based on this electronic configuration? People of the earth, manawag ko karon.
Duha.
Duha ma'am. Duha.
Okay, duhara.
Ma'am kana naka-off ka.
Kaning naka-off cam ako ni panawagon. Duhara kay duhara man ang iyahang walay pair. So pwede na siyang makitabo. Nasabtan? So this is
ma'am, masamot na sa loading, ma'am.
okay. So this is what we call, and it's ground state. Kung i-hybrid ni nato siya, meaning sa i-hybrid, i-mix nato ning duha, aron masudlan ning isa, di ba ni bakante dire? Kita mo sa bakante dire?
Yes.
So kung i-hybrid na to siya, but nasabot i-mix na to siya, natay kanang hybrid orbital, kaning isa dianhi ma-promote na dire. So from ground state mahimo siyang excited state. So we will discuss more of that when we talk about organic molecules. But for now, so pwede ni siya nga kani siya kay isa raman ka C and then isa ka O. Instead of calling it monocarbon monoxide, we call it carbon monoxide. Ang ikaduha lang ang butangan og mono. Nakasabot? Nasabtan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So, when two vowels appear next to each other, the vowel from the prefix is dropped. Example, carbon instead of monooxide, mahimo siyang carbon monoxide. Here, we have chlorate tetraoxide, madilit ang A. Tanggalon si A, mahimo na lang siyang trichlorine tetroxide. So, ang end sa prefix, may itong tanggalon ha, dili ang end ay ang letter na nag-una sa imuhang atom. So, we have ternary salt. Ternary salt is just the same as binary salt of metal and non-metal. Nga ng formula writing. Ako rin siyang i-edit. So, write first the ion with positive charge followed by the negative charge. So, actually, the ternary salt and the binary salt of metal and non-metal are just the same. Ang naglahi ra gyud og pangalan sa ilaha kay ang binary salt of both non-metal because lahi ang type of bond iyahang gi-form. The binary salt of metal and non-metal as well as the ternary salt both have ionic bond while the binary salt of both nonmetals have the covalent bond. That's why we have to determine how many elements are there bonded with each other. That's why we need to use the number prefixes. In here, the same rang rule sa rule kaganina. You just have to cross over the subscript and the superscript. So, say for example here, the barium and the chlorate. So, barium has 2, so therefore chlorate has 2. So, kay si chlorate man, ang ato ang times 2 mo nang gibutang nato siya sa parenthesis. Kaya kung di na mo na siya times 2, may tabuan na inana. Barium ClO3 and then butangan ni mo 2 ang nahimong 32 ka buok ang imuhang oxide. Where imong pasabot ang chlorate kay imong gi times 2. Kay si barium nanginahanglan siya og hatagan, manghatag siya duha ka elektron, unya si chlorate isa ra man ka elektron ang iyahang ma-receive, so nanginahanglan siya another chlorate. Munang duha ka chlorate ang natagaan og elektron sa isa ka barium. Mo nay pasabot ana nasabtan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Another, magnesium. Magnesium 2 and cyanide. Si cyanide, na siya ito diri, naka-enclose gihapon siya parenthesis. Kay kung di mo siya i-enclose o parenthesis, ang may tabo,
Nitrogen.
magnesium CN2. So si nitrogen lang ang nataga Very good.
Natagan og elektron ni magnesium.
So dapat silang duha ni CN kay sila mang duha ang kumayang kag cyanide nagpunyag yun si N and C. Kay kumayang kag N lang so nitride ra dili cyanide. So ammonium and phosphorus also the same. Si ammonium ang naghatag, di ba si ammonium kay mohatag siya og kwan. So ang tulo ka ammonium ang nagdonate og electron para mas stable ang isa ka phosphorus. Ana niya. So in naming that, dali ra kayo. So we have ammonium plus chlorine, we have ammonium chloride. Sodium plus hypochlorite becomes sodium hypochlorite. Mao ni siya ang baligya dira sa buroon nga gitawag natog hypo. So, pag niyog hypo, automatic yung gipalit ka ni butangan na rin mong tubig aron ibutang sa sanina aron di mabuslot. We have sodium chloride.
Bago yang paan. Kung butnon og tubig dili, kung butnon og tubig dili mabago yang composition ma'am.
Dili because that becomes a mixture. A mixture is different from chemical reaction. So later on, we will have that mixture. Napamanta sa pure substance nga stage, wala pa ta sa mixture. So, now we have sodium and chloride. So you have sodium chloride. Sodium and chlorate, sodium chlorate. Sodium and perchlorate becomes sodium perchlorate. Ammonium plus chloride. This is not chloride. This is chloride. Hypochlorite. Tama. Ammonium plus hypochlorite becomes ammonium hypochlorite. Ammonium plus sulfate. Nganong wala naka-enclose dire si sulfate? O parenthesis. Nganong wala?
One raman ang ammonia.
Very
Kay
good.
ang
One ra ang superscript ni ammonium. Si ammonium, enclose sa parenthesis kay 2 man ang superscript ni sulfate. Now we have here copper 2 sulfate. Kani siya. So, pareha man sila 2 automatic ma-delete. So, wala na yung subscript din ha. So, we have copper 2 sulfate or cuprate sulfate. We have ammonium phosphide and then magnesium cyanide. Now, how about if we have this? Hg 2 plus Cl2. What will be the product?
HG.
HGC.
Parenthesis.
Ay nga naman ang nadrang to. Kajut lang kayo. Sa lag man to. Negative man na siya.
HG2, ma'am.
Diba negative ra na si chloride?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Hg
2.
Cl.
Parentheses.
L parenthesis
Dili.
Ay, dili dahil ma'am. Kaya wala ko ano man na ang 1 raman din.
Ma'am, 2.
Ano, ma'am?
Okay. Now, can we simplify this?
Yes.
Yes.
Naman ang kuan, ma'am, yung subscript.
Okay. Now, take note that 2 already is with Mercury.
Mercury.
Dili
Oh. So, pag abot diri kani siya, dili nimo pwedeng is-simplify.
Gani! Natingala sa
Ayun
ko.
na siya daan. So, dili ka pwedeng mag-simplify. Already an empirical formula. Unless si Mercury,
Na ay
di ba we call this Mercury 1
script.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
plus
Cl.
sulfur,
Ay,
kanan siya. So,
Ano,
we
no?
have H,
H, G, 2,
2, Karon,
parenthesis,
i-enclose na nato
Joseph.
sa parenthesis.
parenthesis,
Yes. Tay sa
Tapos,
pasangan og 2.
2.
S, 2.
S.
2. Now, can we simplify this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
pwede.
Ma'am, kay kuan man siya, nigawas naman ko.
Sa sulod, ha? Walay labot ang 2 nga na sa sulod. That becomes HG
2.
H, G, 2S.
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 Very good.
Empirical na siya, ma'am.
Yes, this is the empirical. Dili ni siya pwedeng simplify because the 2 here already with the hydrogen, the mercury. Nasabtan? So,
Okay.
Yes.
mercury 1 sulfide. This is mercury 1 chloride. So now, identify. Is this a binary salt or a ternary?
Ternary.
Ternary. This one? Kani?
Sana, ma'am.
Binary.
Binary metal, non-metal, or both non-metal?
Non-metal and metal.
Non-metal and non-metal.
Huh?
Ay, both.
Metal? Is potassium a metal?
Binary salt of metal and non-metal.
Very good. It's a binary salt of metal and non-metal.
Metal and
This
non-metal.
one, automatic ternary. salt.
Ternary.
This one,
Binary salt of both.
of
Oh, sorry.
both.
Both non-metal.
Both
This one,
non-metal.
Data salt.
this is a member of a salt, but this specifically called oxide. So,
Oh, pero
salt
dili-
gyapon siya, pero oxide siya. Dili siya salt nga crystalline.
Wala siya nakabilong, ma'am, no?
Oh,
Wala siya nabilong.
hindi siya parehas. Di na lang dapat lang ako. Salt automatically, we perceive it to be salty. Parat ayahang kwan. Di makayong ng tubig parat. Di ba? Tubig is tasteless.
Special siya, ma'am. Special na.
So we have, on the salt, we have another group we call oxide.
Oxide.
So, dito na nabilang si carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen.
Ma'am, ginither na ko dira.
Ha?
Ginither na ko.
Oh, pwede butang yung mag-neither kasi actually it belongs to oxide. Dili man siya parat. You cannot taste it. Nga ko. Pero mag-crystallize siya. So, I will check this. What are the difference between binary salt of metal and non-metal and binary salt of both non-metals and ternary? Their difference is their bonding. Binary salt of metal and non-metal and the ternary metal both have a ionic bond, while binary salt of both non-metals have covalent bond. What type of bond forms the following types? So this is
Ionic.
ionic,
Covalent.
Covalent.
Ionic.
O ionic.
Kung naka-answer ka diri, maka-answer rasad ka sa number 1. Is it possible for a salt to form if you bond metals with
No.
hydrogen? No. Because
No.
if you bond it with hydrogen, that becomes a
Acid.
Acid.
Is it possible for a salt to form if you bond non-metals with hydrogen?
No.
No. Still, it becomes a salt. Actually, this hydrogen bond with metal is not possible. Positive and positive, they will not attract each other. Pero kanisha, with this, possible, but they will not form a salt. They will form a acid. Is it possible for a salt to form if you have bond metals with hydroxide? Metals and hydroxide. They are possible, but they will not become a salt again. They become a base.
A base.
So, non-metals and
Nan.
hydroxide both are negative, so dili na sila mo form. So, this one, hindi na siya magamay. Okay. So, we have sodium plus chlorine. We have NaCl, sodium chloride. Aluminum plus bicarbonate. So, we have Al,
Al.
2,
H.
CO3, enclose it in a parenthesis, and another rate. We call it
Ma'am, bicarbonate man, ma'am.
bicarbonate. Ay, napaday hydrogen.
8.
Yeah, I will erase that. Carbonate. I will erase them. So, we have Al, wala na na 2. Al, kaya di ba 1 raman si bicarbonate? CH, CO3, and then enclose it in parentheses, 3. And the name is aluminum bicarbonate. Iodine and acetate. So we have I, C, 2, H,
Hindi ba na pwede guro?
3. Wait, acetate is negative, di ba? Iodine, ano? Hindi siya pwede. Cannot be. Kay negative and negative, they will repel.
Both
Neon
anion.
and theobromine. Neon is stable, so it will not react. Ammonium and phosphide na, nasa example ka ganina. Hydrogen and hydroxide,
H2O.
it becomes
IO.
Or hydrogen oxide.
Five.
We call it hydrogen oxide. By the way, basta matingala mo nga namang hydrogen oxide nga, covalent bond man ni sila, ma'am. Now, though covalent bond sila, this is made up from ionic bond. H plus
O.
O negative.
Negative.
So, dira na siya gikan mong na-form ni. So, muna yung tawag is hydrogen oxide. Muna yung naka-special sa oxides. So, we're done. This is the quiz. I'm sure na-pass na ninyo, di ba? So, kay na-pass naman, I will check the quiz. Motong wala na ako nag-quiz. Pero karon mag-quiz gyapon ko. Para ma-monitor na ko. By the way, ayaw sa mag-answer. Yes. Ayaw sa mag-answer sa module. Kay discuss na tong module. So we still have time, di ba? So we will discuss the alam nga na mag-leave. We will discuss the introduction of the other module.
Kato nang bago na mong gisend, ma'am.
Oh.
Ay, wait lang, ma'am. Ako saan ko na akong module, ma'am.
Okay. Ala time na.
Okay, module, ma'am. One module. Okay, module, ma'am. Tara, ma'am. Ma'am.
Okay. So this module is all about chemical reaction. So, i-introduce lang na ako siya. Unsay ato ang agian ani. So first will be chemical
Chemical
reaction and chemical equation. So before na to siya discuss, I want you to answer this and pass it on our Google Classroom. So you have to answer this before ako siyang i-discuss. Nasabtan? More
Ano saman, ma'am?
tomorrow.
Lunis.
So,
Ugma na, ma'am.
so that would be all for this meeting. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I will stop the recording.